What's up, guys? I'm here for another reaction video, another Core 4 saying goodbye video. If you haven't watched my Mariano Rivera, Andy Pettit goodbye videos, go check them out. This one I'm going to react to Derek Jeter's final moment at Yankee Stadium. This wasn't his last game because he also played in Boston, but every Yankee fan knows this was our true last game with Derek. Yeah, I was never ready for this. Derek Jeter is my #1 all-time favorite athlete, celebrity, you name it. Derek Jeter will be the #1 on any list. If you haven't already, check out my top 10 favorite sport athletes. Spoiler, Derek Jeter is #1. Just saying. But you can check out the rest of the list. But before I get started reacting to this video and not cry again, I wasn't bad in Mo's video. Andy got me. Derek will probably get me again. But again, if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And don't forget to make any suggestions, recommendations, because I am enjoying doing these reaction videos. And I want to do more. I want to do a lot more. And I already have a lot planned, but I definitely want to hear from you guys to let me know other things to react to. So, before I hit the play button, a little background. So the top of the ninth, the Yankees were winning. I believe it was 5-3 or 5-2. And we were all waiting for Joe Girardi to take Derek out because of the plan Joe had for Mariano's goodbye, having Andy and Derek come take him out. We were all wondering, what is he going to do for Derek? But David Robertson and the universe had other plans. And again, if you watch my Andy video, you know I'm a big believer that everything happened for a reason, and it was meant to be that they didn't make these playoffs this season or the season before when Andy and Mo retired, because they were meant to leave the game the way they meant to. So David Robertson gave up 2 home runs, tied the game, and everyone did the math in their heads, and Derek was supposed to be the 3rd person up at bat. I mean, come on. Hollywood cannot write this stuff. And so the first batter, I believe, got on either with a hit or a walk. And then Brett Gardner was up, and I'm pretty sure everyone was like, you better either bunt this or do something, because if you win this game and Derek doesn't come up, you're going to... No. So he bunted and moved, I believe, Richardson to second base, and then here we go. Here comes a big moment, and we were all ready to cry, and then Derek, of course, said, no, I'm not going to let you cry. We're going to enjoy it. We're not going to be emotional about it. But I did get emotional. The first time, I actually did not get emotional because it was like a celebration, as you will see. But every other time I watched it after, for like a few months, I cried. But yeah, alright. So, here we go. And what also got me is with Derek retiring. so did Bob Sheffer's voice, who was the voice of the Yankees, and he passed away a few years before Derek retired. But Derek had him record his voice for when he announces Derek to go up at bat, and so Bob Sheffer's voice is no longer played, which is emotional in itself. Except during Old Timers Day, I'm pretty sure they still play his voice at the beginning, but you know, it's not the same. So that's another emotional aspect of this. Is not only is it Derek's last at bat at Yankee Stadium, but it's also the last time we'll hear Bob Shepard announce a player. So that was emotional too. The house cheater boat. There's his mommy and daddy. Yeah, Brett, you knew. What also is cool about this is the other team that they were playing, which seems to be always the team that is playing during the last moment, because the last home game at the old Yankee Stadium was against Baltimore, and now Derek's last game was against Baltimore. But this is cool because Buck Showalter, the manager at the time of Baltimore, right? He's not the manager anymore, right? I can't keep up with the managers in sports. But at the time, he was the manager. No, he's not the manager anymore. He works for Yes Network sometimes. He was Derek's very first ever manager in 1995. So it was kind of awesome that Derek's last game had all of his managers there. Buck, Joe Torre's in the building, and then Joe Girardi. It was just like, again, it was meant to be. It was meant to be like this. So it was just like that. So.
Well, the script is there. The last page is in Derek's hands.
Oh, and Jimmy Fallon's in the back. He's the one hopping.
Meek deals. Base hit to right field. Here comes Richardson. Here's the throw from Markakis. Richardson is safe. Derek Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single. Derek Jeter, where fantasy becomes reality. Did you have any doubt?
And I mentioned it, I think, in the Andy video that Michael Kay, I'm not a huge fan of during games, but when it's their last moments, he does have clever saying when he does it. And a lot of people say, oh, of course I end up right here. And a lot of people say, oh, well, that doesn't really count because the pitcher probably threw it right in. I'm like, so what? And probably not, because Baltimore was still fighting for home field advantage, so they needed the win. So, I'm just saying. So, before I press play again, here is everybody. This is when I got emotional, because this is everyone Derek played with. You know, the core four. But on the left is Bernie Williams, another player that played with Derek most of his career. Joe Torre, Mr. T, the manager during the dynasty, and then you have the core four, Jorge Posada, Andy Pettitte, Mariano Rivera. Then you have Tino Martinez behind Mariano. He was our first baseman during the dynasty and became really good friends with Derek. And then, again, I'm sorry for the guy on the right. I forget your name, but I think he and Derek played for a couple seasons together, and they became best friends and still friends to this day. So the story was the original plan that Joe Girardi had was he was gonna take Derek out top of the ninth, and he was gonna have Derek go around the whole stadium to say goodbye, like Howardkin did, and these guys were gonna be waiting for him, and then take him down to the clubhouse to say, and that was gonna be it, which I would have bawled at, because that right there is my childhood. But you know, universe had other plans, so there we go.
Not some welcoming crew waiting for Derek Jeter. He hasn't seen him yet.
And they cut off the part where I believe Joe Girardi was trying to get him to go around anyway, and then do that, but he wasn't doing it, so they just came over and said, all right, whatever, he ain't doing it, so we're just gonna do it. Joe Torre was another father figure. Was also cool. Another thing about Tino was on Seattle Mariners before he became the Yankees, and he was the first baseman when Derek got his first at bat, his first major league hit. So he was there literally from the very beginning of Derek's career. So that was kind of cool too. Now he's gonna go say goodbye to shortstop.
And now Derek Jeter says goodbye.
I'm trying not to cry. I am. Now he's gonna look for his family.
Greg Gibson, the home plate umpire, motioning.
So that's the shortened version, because there is a little bit more where he gets interviewed by Meredith and the guys soak him with Gatorade, something, because it's a walk-off, and it used to be pie when A.J. Burnett was on the Yankees, but now they do the Gatorade, and Derek never gotten pied or Gatorade, and they made him do it. So this was a shortened version of his final moment. So there were definitely more after that, and more that actually probably got me crying, especially when he went down into the dugout and then into the saying goodbye to the clubhouse, and I think Michael K says, and there he goes. And then there's also when he played in Boston. I can't ever find that clip, but Michael, when he goes and at the end of the game, Michael K says, and there goes Derek saying goodbye to baseball forever. Something like that. But I can never find that clip. So if anyone can find the clip of Derek walking at Fenway Park at the end of the game, at the very end, and Michael K says something, please link it below. I've been wanting to see that episode, that clip, and I really don't want to watch the whole game because I would definitely cry. So I didn't cry. I don't know why. Probably because I let all my tears out during Andy. But yeah, that was. But again, I didn't cry that night either because he made it a celebration rather than a sad thing. And I definitely know that if he was taken on top of the ninth, we definitely all would have cried. Because he said if he was going to get taken out, he would have cried too. And a lot of people were very surprised at how much emotion Derek showed at that game. But I mean, yeah. The core four. I believe I have one more video, and that will be Jorge. That's going to be a little tricky because he didn't have a goodbye like the other three guys did. But I know one video that I'm going to definitely react to. So make sure you check that out when I put that out. And again, don't forget to leave any recommendations or suggestions for me to react to down below in the comments. And again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also the bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. See you guys the next video, and yeah.